Have you ever had this perfect picture in your head, but, no way to actually get it onto a screen? What if you could? Today, we're going to dive into the incredible world of AI that can turn your thoughts, literally just your words, into art. And it all kicks off with something super simple, a prompt. You just type out what you want to see. For example, a futuristic city at sunset. It's just a handful of words in a text box, but that's the seed for the whole thing. And then, bam, like absolute magic. An AI grabs that idea and turns it into a totally unique, detailed picture. It's kind of like having your own personal digital artist on call, ready to paint whatever you can dream up in a split second. So what is this technology, really? Let's dig into the creative spark that's actually powering this whole machine. Okay, so at its core, AI image generation is a technology that learns from a gigantic library of existing images. And I mean, we're talking millions of them. It uses all that knowledge to cook up completely new visuals. And yeah, this is the engine behind those big names you've probably heard of, like DALL, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion. So that's the what, but the how? Well, that's where things get even more fascinating. Let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how your text prompt becomes a finished picture. It's a pretty mind-bending question, right? How does a machine actually understand abstract ideas like futuristic or capture the feeling of a sunset? It's not just matching words to pictures. It's about understanding context, relationships, and even artistic styles. To really get a handle on this, we're going to follow one specific prompt from start to finish. Our subject? A lion wearing sunglasses, cartoon style. Let's see how the AI tackles that one. The whole thing really boils down to 4 pretty simple steps. First, there's your input. Then the AI has to understand the key pieces, lion, sunglasses, cartoon. After that, it starts generating a brand new image based on all the patterns it's learned. And finally, it refines that image, adding all the little details like textures, lighting, and shapes to really make it pop. Now, behind that whole 4-step process is a seriously powerful engine, or what we call an AI model. And just like cars have different engines for different jobs, there are different types of AI models for generating images. There are 3 main types you'll hear about. First up, you've got GANs. These are absolute wizards at creating realistic stuff, especially faces. Then there are diffusion models. These are the powerhouses behind tools like DALL 3, and they're amazing at making incredibly detailed, high-quality images from scratch. And finally, you have vision language models, which are a bit different. They're built to really understand the deep connection between words and pictures. So we've seen the how, but now it's time for the so what. This is where the technology gets really, really interesting. Its impact on the real world. And make no mistake, this tech has leaped right out of the research lab. It is way past being just a toy for making funny pictures. It's a serious tool being used by professionals in almost every industry you can think of. I mean, just look at this list. Artists are whipping up logos, film studios are designing characters, marketers are mocking up ads, architects are visualizing entire buildings, even fashion designers are creating new outfits out of thin air. The impact is huge and it's growing every single day. And here's a perfect example of that. Creating concept art for a movie, visualizing a new world or character, that used to take an artist weeks. Now, with AI, studios can generate hundreds of ideas in just a few minutes. It's a massive speed boost for the whole creative process. Of course, no technology is perfect. For all its amazing advantages, AI image generation also comes with some pretty big challenges that we absolutely have to talk about. On the plus side, the benefits are clear as day. It saves a crazy amount of time and money. It unlocks almost unlimited creative potential. And maybe the biggest thing, it empowers people who aren't traditional artists to create amazing visuals customized exactly how they want them. But it's not all smooth sailing. There's some serious hurdles, like the ethical minefield of deepfakes, the messy question of who actually owns the copyright to AI art, and dealing with biases that can creep into the images. Oh, and it takes some serious computer horsepower to make it all work. So with all that in mind, let's just zoom out for a second and take a look at the bigger picture here. Where is all of this really heading? So we've seen how it works, the good and the bad, but the question that really counts is, why does this actually matter? Why should you and I care about this technology? Well, because it's not just another new tool. It is a fundamental shift. It's changing the very fabric of how we create content, design products, advertise to people, and entertain ourselves. This is a game changer. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. This technology is a great equalizer. It completely closes the gap between having a brilliant idea and having the artistic chops to actually make it real. At its core, it's a tool for empowerment. And that leaves us with one last, massive question to think about. If anyone can be a creator, if anyone can make stunning visuals with just a few words, what does that change? What does it mean for the future of art, of media, and creativity itself? It really makes you wonder.